Year Zero is kind of insane. The album was officially released in April of 2007, but the music had been out for a little while before that. Because, you see, to accompany Year Zero was this ARG that was helping to build the world and this concept album to, tell the story. And it did this by having websites, scavenger hunts, some other things in real world to tell the story of a fictional one, because, that's what an ARG is. Why do I even bother with the glasses? Because they always fucking fog up! Oh, I hit my microphone. Now, the ARG, as ARGs tend to be, it's ridiculously complex, and the puzzles people solved are kind of insane, so I'm not really going over that stuff. I mean, I'm probably gonna be, going over it, every once in a while, referencing it, because that's how any of this stuff was learned, but overall, I'm not going through that. I'm sure there's a timeline of that, the ARG stuff, somewhere, but that's not what I'm doing today. No, this is just going over the story of Year Zero, going over, the factions that are in it, the storylines, the different major events, things that are in it, but that does lead to one really big issue. This is a really well-developed world, and there's a lot of stuff to go over. There's so many different agencies and movements and events, it is the political landscape of an entirely fictional world based off of our world. So if I tried going over all that in one video, it'd be 5 hours, and I'd burn out halfway through writing it, and it would just kind of end up being really not good. So instead, we're gonna be doing a little bit of a series. So I looked online to see if anyone else has done this, and as far as I can tell, at least not in video form has this ever been broken down. So I'm kind of just doing I'm just kind of fucking guessing. So because of all this, these are going to be pretty short videos, depending on the complexity of the different things that are covered in the video, but they're not going to be nearly as long as videos I've done before. Definitely not the fucking 2-hour-long videos, and some of them probably not even going to break 10 minutes. So these are going to be pretty bite-sized videos, kind of explaining singular things, and in the end, it's probably going to culminate in something that is going over a more extensive, comprehensive timeline. That's sort of the plan right now, but we'll see how things are going to change. So, I guess let's start with this. What is Year Zero? Obviously, Year Zero is the name of the album, and I went over that Year Zero is the ARG and everything, but Year Zero is also an actual event in the universe, and it refers to when the United States and several other countries except they take this new calendar starting at 0000. Literally, the year is 0. It's a thing
that is adopted by the United States and other countries that are in something called the Coalition for Peace. And so there's a website that referenced this, and it says zero tolerance, zero fear, which alludes to the policies that the government in this world has been taken, and I'll put it on screen. And this is another version of the truth.com, one of the many websites used in this ARG. Um, and the website's actually revealed to be a resistance website where users talk behind the guise of this patriotic homepage, but we're gonna get to that later, so don't worry. Year Zero's not actually the start of the story, though. The story really diverges from our world in 2007 with the passing of the 2006 Military Commissions Act, except that's not really the diversion because that happened in real life. Quirky, basically, and I might be getting this wrong, but the Military Commissions Act was basically an act that would allow the president to have absolute power to declare anyone an enemy of the country. And then, if someone was deemed an enemy of the country, the president was then able to imprison them forever without charging them for any actual crime. And then it passed for real. Okay, so where it actually diverges is a year later, George Bush says bye-bye to office, or he's removed from office early. It's not really clear. All that there is he's out of office earlier than he should be. And it was probably, like, my first thing was, it's probably like a ploy to get the president out, so whoever's running the show can, they don't have any face. They can be faceless and unaccountable. But that's definitely not true, because later we also learned that there was another president, the first female president in 2018, who gets accused of treason and then impeached. And then they decide, okay, the people can't decide the president anymore. Which is the actual that's the actual point where they said, okay, no more decision, bye-bye, no more say. So in February, and I'll go over this more in detail later and exactly what happened, because this is a pretty big boy part of it. There's a series of terrorist attacks, and LA gets evacuated. There's a memorial site showing all this, and the United States uses terrorist attacks to justify invading and attacking and being aggressive towards other countries. I'm not even gonna fucking say what the fucking parallel in real life is to that one. So war and aggression happens, it escalates, and it gets to a point where other country terrorist groups combine with leading Muslim country governments to basically say, you know what, fuck the United States, because the United States had been so shit to everyone that wasn't them. And so that's look, I'm really trying my hardest to not become, like, political or talk about political stuff here. I'm really trying, man. I don't know what you want from me. So then we can get into the really fun stuff, where the United States starts drugging the water. Let's go, baby! They put a little quirky little thingy in the water. Little bit of that meal, little bit of that, like, sparkling, the flavor water. Shake it in the water there. Except it's not flavoring, it's drugs. In fact, it's a drug called paraffin, and we'll go over that later. Also, they do this funny little thing where they pass something called the Emergency Measure Act that basically deletes the First Amendment. So America then merges church and state back together again, and we get a cool new military police force, because we would never have militarized police in the United States. I mean, come on, it's not like they have military vehicles or fully automatic weapons. So this group is called the 105th Airborne Crusaders. It's made up entirely of people that are very, very Christian. And they basically are the big boys that are really taking care of limiting freedom and making everything this Christian police state. That's their job. Okay? So I mentioned this earlier. The United States is in this thing with a bunch of other countries called the Coalition for Peace, and I can't find a lot of information on the Coalition for Peace, except for that it is kind of implied, and there are websites elsewhere that imply that the removal of freedoms and reverting to police states and, you know, all the shit that's going on in the United States is not just a United States thing. It's happening all over the world. There's a website going over something called a neurochip, but it's in Britain, and neurochips, again, are another funny little thing we're going to go over later, but they're pretty funny. So all the countries in the Coalition for Peace have adopted this new calendar that take us to year zero, and it's like a symbolic wiping the slate clean sort of deal is basically what it is, and resetting everything under this new fucked up order of control. That's basically what year zero is. Year zero itself is a symbolic act that is the culmination of the United States government and several other governments stripping away people's freedoms until they decide, you know, just fuck this. We're totally going to hit a reset button. We are really changing into this new police state, funny little quirky fucking year zero, essentially. Fucking TLDR. Year zero is resetting the calendar to zero. It takes place in 2022. Which is this year. Woo. And it was a symbolic thing of the United States and several other countries, like, really, reverting into, I mean, it's kind of hard to say that it's them reverting into, or, like, changing into these, states, because the way the story is they've been slowly changing, but year zero, because it's just this big reset thing, it's really just a symbolic thing, is all the event was. There's tons of stuff, like, there's Parapin, there's Parapin, there's the 105th Airborne, there's the Bureau of Morality, I didn't even fucking mention those guys, Cedar Corps, those little quirky boys, there's, what else, Neurochips, didn't even talk about those. There's Artist Resistance. There's a lot of fun stuff that we haven't gone over yet. So, next time we're probably going to chat a little bit about Parapin and Cedar Corps and figure out exactly, you know, what that is, because that's another big thing. That's a very significant thing. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed, even though this is super different and short compared to my normal stuff. I think this should be a fun little series. And I'll see you in the next one, where we're going to talk about the funny water gun.